All right,
Thanks.
the recording has started. No, that's perfect. That's great.
I'm going to soft mute everyone, and you know how to unmute yourselves if you need to.
Okay.
So everyone's not talking at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. This is the Town of Fairfield Golf Commission meeting of May 11th, 2020. And Keith, take it away. Okay. Can I hear anybody?
I can hear you, Joan, but
I can't hear anyone.
I can hear you also. I wasn't hearing anyone for a while.
I'm not hearing anybody.
I was pushing the wrong button. This is Keith. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. We'll get it going sooner or later. All right. Let's go through let's just rip through the roll call here. Christine, are you on? Is that a yes?
I don't.
It's hard to tell now with the mute.
Well, why don't I unmute it and see if we need to, and we'll be.
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
One sec. One sec. Everybody unmute themselves. Can everybody unmute themselves? Hello? Can anybody unmute themselves? How about that? Okay, sorry about that.
All right, everybody. All right, we'll get there.
Great practice. Thank you.
Right. First time we're doing this. So.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, this is Keith. Let's go through the roll call. Christine, are you on?
Yes.
All right, Priscilla.
Yes.
Liam.
Hello.
Okay. Liam, is that you?
This is Liam. Yeah.
Okay. Ryan.
Yes, I am on.
Paul.
Yes.
Peter.
Yes.
Great. Okay. I am going to let's make sure we have the other people who are going to be presenting. Joan, I hear you. Anthony, are you on?
Yep, I'm here.
Great. Jim?
Here.
All right. And Peter Grace, are you here?
I answered for the other Peter. Yes, I'm here. You said Peter, so I said I'm here.
You didn't have to tell me that. We just would have checked everybody. Right? It's fine. All right, great. I'm gonna waive the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's go on to the minutes from March 9th. Do I have a motion to approve those?
This is Paul. I'll motion to approve.
Great. Second from anybody?
This
I'll
is Priscilla. I will second.
All right. Does anybody have any comments or any issues with the minutes?
No.
Nope.
All right. Hearing none, let's take a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody objecting? Anybody abstaining? Okay, unanimous. Joan, on the next one, communications, since communications are really the same now as public input, I'd like to push that down on the agenda so we can let Anthony give his presentation since he's got to jump off to a Board of Finance meeting.
Sure, and I do not have any communications this month from anyone for this meeting yet, so that's
Great,
fine.
Neither do I, so that's fine.
Okay.
So then we just did it.
Okay.
So let's go to Anthony for the staff report first. Anthony, maybe you could give us a quick update.
Yep, I'll give you the quick update. So everybody should have the report for April. As you can see, we had a good fall, so we're actually not as bad off as one would think we would be for missing April and most of May. Part 3 is officially opened up again, as I think everybody knows, as of May 1st. Smith will be opening up at the latest by this Friday. But Part 3 has been on fire down there. Pretty much every round is booked when the weather's nice. So a lot of people are getting to experience that course that wouldn't have normally played it, which is a good thing for us. So the other thing you guys should have gotten was the first draft from purchasing about the concessionaire that we'd like to put out to bid in the next couple of weeks. I did not receive any feedback from anybody. So if anybody has anything they want to either share with me tonight or shoot me an email with that, I would like to get this back over to purchasing just to firm up. There are some things I've got to get from the building committee, drawings and things of that nature, and some some dates and stuff. But once I have that stuff, I'll get this back over, and then we'll try to get this out on the street to see what kind of interest there is out there.
Anthony, have you had any feedback? Are you looking for anybody to bid in particular? Is there anybody you have in mind?
I don't have anybody in mind, no. Typically, we would put this out, on our website with the hope that people would see it. Obviously, if there's any vendors that you guys are aware of that would be interested, I know Vozzy's name always comes up. Karen obviously is a name that comes up. So, we'll proactively send it to those guys. But if there's other people or other businesses that you guys know that, you think would be a good fit up there, send them our way, and we'll be sure to get the official copy out to them just so they're aware of it.
Anthony,
can I ask a question?
Is that, are you not anticipating that it'll start until April 1st?
I would assume that whoever gets this bid is not going to start until the spring of 21. The latest update we have from the building committee is that the building will probably be completed sometime in November. So really the end of the 2020 season, weather dependent. So I would assume whoever gets this wouldn't start in the winter. They'd just start first thing in the spring.
Okay.
Anthony, it's Paul Gleason. I noticed in the correspondence there was a discussion going on about the kitchen, giving money towards outfitting, et cetera, et cetera. Can you give us a little update on where that stands at this point?
Yeah, I can. Thanks, Paul. As of right now, there's the kitchen is not being outfitted by the building committee. That money was put into contingency, and if there's money left towards the end of the project in that contingency fund, they would then take that money and put it towards the kitchen. And that really is something that the first select woman has been pushing. She wants them to invest in this kitchen, but they didn't do that originally. So it just depends on how much of the contingency they eat up.
Haven't we ate up a lot of it already?
They did, yeah, they did when they were searching for the ledge and things like that near the cart barn and the foundation. So I don't have an update off the top of my head. The building committee meets tomorrow night, so that's when I would get my next update from them as to where they are financially with that project.
Gotcha.
The other thing, the reason I'm asking this is when you give zero, anybody in their right mind, financial mind, would require a significantly longer term lease when they have to put out everything to outfit the restaurant. The risk on our side is if you get a deadbeat, then you're stuck with them for a long period of time. And I would make sure that the first select woman and the finance committee understand that with giving nothing towards the kitchen, you carry a risk of having an inferior service for a long period of time.
Yeah. The other thing I should point out is purchasing did put in here a 10-year lease with one 2-year renewal option, which is a 12-year lease.
I saw that.
Any lease over 5 years has to get Board of Finance approval. So we're not even allowed to put this out on the street with that 10-year clause in it until I get Board of Finance approval.
Right.
But that's our hope.
Hey, Anthony, this is Ryan. That's what I was going to ask you is did you get the Board of Finance approval for the 10 years? But it sounds like you haven't yet.
Not yet. Board of Finance has been swamped with the budget.
I'm sure. So secondary question, and I know I don't want to throw cold water on getting it out now, but is the current environment with everyone, with restaurants in particular, being the most hard hit? I mean, do you think you're going to get a lot of interest in a bid like this at this point, or do you think it would make more sense to maybe have people be a little more comfortable with their financial position moving forward, or is that not something we're worried about right now?
So, well, I think it's a good point. My thought on it is because we're probably not going to get somebody in there until January, February, March of next year, that I didn't think it hurt to test the water now. But okay. I mean, worst case is nobody bids on it, and we can throw it back out in the fall, or we wait and we can throw it out, towards the end of the summer and the fall anyway. So I can go either way on it.
There's just so much, I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I think there's so much uncertainty with existing restaurants right now of will they open, will they ever reopen, and what kind of financial position are they going to be in, even for next year or later this year. And I didn't know if people thought this might impact somebody saying, you know what, I can't even take a chance and bid on this right now because I just don't know where I'm going to be, in 6 months. I don't know.
Ryan, I think that's a great point, and I am absolutely with you on that.
And if you look at Karen as an example, he was strapped out to start with buying the shebeen and then right. Closed. I have to believe he's tinkering. There's no way we get a bid from him. No way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Anthony, to your point, I mean, maybe testing the waters isn't the worst idea either, but I just would be.
Yeah, why wait?
I wouldn't get our hopes up that we'd get a great bid,
Yeah.
Right. If we don't get a
but
good
what
bid,
happens
we just
if
rebid it.
What happens if you get a lowball bid?
We can reject it.
You can? Even though it's one bid, you only get one bid, you can reject it?
Absolutely. If it's not something the town's comfortable with. I mean, if someone came in and said, I'll give you, $1,000 for the season next year, the town can reject that bid.
Okay. All right.
Nothing
to
look
Anthony,
we're waiting on them presenting the bid, right?
Can I ask a question? This is Christine. Hi, everyone. Anthony, has anyone done any math of the potential cost for the bidder to fit up the kitchen?
Yeah, so we had bid we had put in about $250,000 to outfit that kitchen. But again, that was using all brand new kitchen equipment that the vendor would have used. And from what I think Ryan could probably speak to this a little better than I can. A lot of times restaurateurs who are in this kind of business will buy used equipment, so maybe they can get it at half cost. So you might be really outfitting it for about $125,000, but it's $100,000 plus project.
Okay.
Yeah, I think also, Christine, there's also a possibility people would move their existing equipment from another location as well. So, but if it's a brand new location, like Anthony said, it's going to be a big price tag. I mean, no doubt about it. Either way, it'll be a large price tag, no matter what.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Sorry to interrupt. This is Peter. I hopped on a few minutes ago. Sorry I was late.
How dare you?
Oh. No problem.
You're right, Ryan.
Again,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I would like to know sooner than later if this kitchen is going to be a detriment to getting a decent bid. So I guess this is Keith. My preference would be to get it out, get it on the street, and see if there is any type of feedback from potential bidders. If the kitchen is scaring people off, then we know that we have a real issue. If we're getting bids, I'd like to know. So I'd like to know sooner than later. Again, that's just me. So kind of curious what the rest of the commission is.
I mean, that's also a valid point. I mean, it really is. I think I just am worried, like I said earlier, Keith, I'm just worried we're not going to get an accurate representation of what the bids should be based on the fear factor of where you feel like you're going to be as a restaurant in 2021, given the current situation. That's the only thing I'm scared about. But I agree with you. I think because, say we get no bids, like Anthony said, does that mean it's because they have to fit out the kitchen, or does that mean it's because they are not sure what's going on with the COVID-19 crisis? And will we know that?
Yeah.
Can you inquire, Anthony, when they bid? Can you, call them and be like, but, of course, if no one bids, you don't have anyone to call.
Yeah, I think if no one bids, but we sent it out to Kieran and we send it out to Vozzies or whoever else, I think we could always reach out to them and say, hey, we sent this to you. Why didn't you bid? And then they could tell us, we weren't interested, or we don't have the money to outfit it, or it's COVID related and we're not in that position right now.
Right.
So yeah, I think we can.
Right. Okay. All right. So when do you think that'll go out? If it did go out now, when do you think it will go out, Anthony?
I would think it's probably if I get it back to purchasing this week, I would think they'd have it out next week sometime.
Without Board of Finance?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I have to get approval from Board of Finance. So Board of Finance probably doesn't meet. Now we're looking, that would be probably the first week of June, so maybe right after that. So maybe early June. You're right.
Right. Well, I think that's something that we should let's get our comments out to Anthony if anybody has any. I've already given him some questions and comments. So if anybody has anything else, let's get them out to him. At least let's keep pushing it forward at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Should we jump to let's go from Andy, are you done with the administration report?
Yeah, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Anthony.
Do you want to give the Clubhouse update, or do you want me to sort of give Craig's version of it?
You can give Craig's version. It's pretty accurate.
All right. You can throw some flavor on top of it, asking Jim and Peter as well. So Craig was going to be on, but he had to jump over to a different meeting, so unfortunately he couldn't make it. But he sent Anthony and me a very detailed update. And again, I don't know how many people have been to Smith in the last couple of days. It looks great. The parking lot looks great. The practice green is looking really good. The tee boxes all look really fresh and clean, and the foundation's going up. So really nice. The parking lot paving is done. The curbs were done on Friday, and I understand that they were scheduled to be finished today, although the weather may have impacted that, same with the finishing on the striping. Does anybody, Jim or Peter, do you know if the curbs and the striping were done today?
So I just drove there about an hour ago. I was up hitting balls.
I'm sitting in the parking lot right now.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Go ahead.
The curbs are not done and the striping is not done. They're going to finish that tomorrow.
It should be done hopefully on between tomorrow and Wednesday. Is the official DPW answer right now.
Okay.
Sure.
Carts are returned from storage. The cart barn is fully up and running. Jim, I understand you're fully up and running at this point now as well?
Yep. Everything's up and running in the cart barn.
So are carts available for play starting on Friday?
No. It's walking only until May 22nd. Unless you have a valid, unless somebody has a valid handicap or disabled sticker that they present us at the pro shop.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get through the update, and then we can ask questions about the status, if you don't mind. So the bathrooms and hand washing stations were delivered. I saw a picture of the hand washing stations and the porta potties. It looks like there were a couple of them. I think we will be getting more as well. Is that right, Jim?
It's a question for Peter, I believe.
Peter?
We got 3 porta-johns up here and a hand washing station. As far as getting more, I'm not aware of it.
Okay. All right, so tell me about the fourth tee. The fourth tee had that water retention area in front and a big pile of dirt. My understanding was that was going to be, that dirt was going to be moved, today, tomorrow. Is that still there? Does that need work still?
Yeah, they actually did a lot of work on it today. It's they've got it all panned out. Still, you're going to have to fire over it, but we cannot go into it after they seed it. We cannot go into it. So if balls go into it, they got to stay in there.
Got it. All right. So it looks like we're on track then for a Friday opening, most likely. Anybody see any reason that we would not open on Friday?
No.
All right.
No.
Anthony or Jim or Peter, anything I missed in terms of the status of, the parking lot, pro shop, cart barn, anything like that?
Nope. No, I think you got it covered.
All right. Let's go to anybody have questions then from the commission on that?
I do. It's Paul Boyson. I got the pictures. I did not get the report. So I would first part of a 2-part question is, could you share that report with the rest of us? I know you got 6 pictures, but no detailed report.
You mean the one that Craig Curley emailed me?
Craig's report, yes, exactly.
Yeah, I can forward that. On. It's just a conversational email, but yeah, it's not like an official report. But I'm happy to forward that on to everybody. Yep, I'm happy to.
Second part of the question is to Jim. Tee to green on the first hole. It looks like the black tees might have lost some distance. Did they or no? It's just the perspective of the picture.
No, the bench is where it was. The spigot.
Everything's in the same spot. Okay.
Oh yeah. The tree's still there.
It looked like that too, though. I thought the same thing when I was walking on that right in front of the cart barn. I thought that first tee, the black tees might have moved forward a little bit, or it got cut off, but they didn't. They're all the same.
No, I think if you look at it from the perspective of the umbrella tree that we saved, you'll see that nothing's changed as far as distance.
Well, I play for the black, so that's super important to me. That's
yeah, me too. Thank you.
All right. In terms of operations, no carts until no driving carts without doctor's note or some other type of evidence of need until May 21st or 22nd?
May 22nd, we're going to reevaluate.
Okay, and then what about pull carts?
Pull carts are available, and personal pull carts are allowed, of course.
Yep. And then tee times. How are you handling tee times? Are they 15-minute spread, or what's the plan?
No, tee times are our typical 9-minute intervals with our pace of play policy. We don't foresee it being a problem as far as people gathering. The one good thing about the putting green being redone is there's no putting green to putt on right now. There's no reason to get to the course any more than 10 minutes before your tee time because there's nothing to do unless you want to use a porta-john. But
Jim,
is that mandatory? Sorry. Go ahead, Priscilla. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Are people having to come into the clubhouse and pay because you can't pay online, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, I don't mean to cut everybody off. If Keith wants me to give my report now, I think it might answer a lot of these questions instead of.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair. Why don't you do your report now? Sorry, it's kind of the same thing. Clubhouse update, your report. So go for it.
Yeah, so it is going to jump around a little bit because I do have a lot of points to touch on here. So just make notes to yourself, and when I'm done, if you want to ask me the question, we'll try to answer it for you. But as you all know, Friday is going to be our opening day. It is basically considered walking only at this point. Like we just discussed, if somebody does have a valid handicap or disabled sticker, they will be given a single passenger cart for their use, assuming they are permitted to go out weather condition-wise. The pro shop is all set. I am in the bag storage room section of the cart barn. It's actually a very nice area. The downside is there's no heat and no air conditioning, but for a couple months we'll get through that. Tea time system had a couple glitches last week, but we have worked through it, and tea times are up and working. We've got a full booking for the weekend coming up. As we talked about, the carts have been returned. The GPS, which I was worried about because it does run off the internet, is actually working in the cart, so that was a big bonus to have that working. The two biggest concerns as far as myself and my staff are concerned and Parks and Rec is post-round loitering in the parking lot. I've been to several courses in the area and played this spring. It seems like that seems to be a real bone of contention, especially with us not having a clubhouse at all. But there seems to be a lot of tailgating going on in the parking lot, and we're not going to put up with it. Okay, we will be friendly about it. We will warn people. They get one warning. Don't do it again. If it happens again, I think we're going to have to take it up with the golf commissioner, take tougher steps to prevent it. The other thing at Smith, and I think all of you that have played there have seen it, is we are going to be renting single passenger carts, I anticipate, when we do have carts going out and we're not walking only. I think everybody's seen ride sharing going on at Smith, going up the 6th hole, the 10th hole, and anywhere else on the golf course. When one person pays for a cart and 3 people are walking, it seems like somebody's always hopping in that cart. So my Rangers are going to be out there and patrolling for that, and trying to enforce the single passenger cart only.
Hey, Malcolm, I just want to hear something.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Ryan, was that you? Okay.
Nope, wasn't me. No. I'm on mute.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't me.
Sorry.
All right, Ryan, keep it down. So anyway, the range did open on May 1st. The range has been doing very well. We had a crazy Thursday there last week where we did over $1,300 on a weekday, which is unheard of. Those are holiday weekend numbers. As Anthony mentioned, par 3 opened on the 1st. They've been doing record numbers also. I've never seen the tee sheet so full down there, so that's going well. In terms of scheduling, all the leagues have been very helpful as far as putting off their league schedules until June. Hopefully, as we get to the end of this month, we can start firming things up with them. As of now, we're proceeding with no shotguns for the groups, and there's 2 reasons for that. One is it's a CDC recommendation not to have any shotgun events to avoid large gatherings. The other one brings us to the problem of the number of carts that we have. We only have 60 carts, and with that, 2 of the carts are always being used by my Rangers, and we usually have 1 or 2 that might be waiting for a repair or 2. So in reality, we have probably 55 carts per day, 56 carts. So that knocks out any shotgun events. But we're also going to run into the problem on weekends where you don't play by 10 o'clock. We're probably not going to have a cart available for you at your tee time. So we'll have to figure out if people want to walk the first couple of holes and we run a cart out to them if they want one, or going to have to figure something out. But we do have a limited number of carts. Lastly, I've gone over with my staff and everybody the cleaning guidelines that we're going to be using on the carts and the pull carts. And I think we're in pretty good shape there as the town has provided us all the necessary cleaning equipment that we need. So, if anybody has any questions, jump right in.
Hey Jim, it's Ryan. Hey, a couple things. First of all, I guess, do you and your staff feel comfortable with the people coming in and paying? I mean, do you want them to be wearing masks when they pay or anything like that? I mean, is there anything you guys need to feel safe while you're up there?
I appreciate you asking. I have built basically sneeze guard screens that are going across the counter. And with the setup of of my new pro shop, it's basically 2 feet inside the door of the bag storage room. So it would make no sense for me to stop people from coming in. So I think we're good in that regard. I don't see the need to make somebody wear a mask coming in. I know my staff is comfortable. My staff members that I'm worried about are my outside guys who tend to be a little bit older. And, you know, I've checked with each one of them, and there are a couple that don't want to come back for a while, and I perfectly understand that. But as far as any needs inside the pro shop, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Jim, to piggyback on that, this is Priscilla. I was able to go to the range last week, as a matter of fact, and I was just a little concerned that there was no barrier for the person who was taking the money, and it was cash and not credit card, and no mask was being worn by the person. Is that something that we should be concerned about, maybe?
We did think about it. Number one, with the cash and credit card, there's no way to take credit card up there. It's always been cash only. We don't have the capability to take credit cards. We don't have a Wi-Fi signal up there strong enough to run a credit card machine. As far as, like you say, he has to slide the window open to sell somebody a token. That's all we can do. I mean, I don't think you can come up with a better setup than that. As far as
okay, because I was concerned, and then when I was talking to my neighbor, he also said, which I don't know if that's your area or not, but Par 3 was also cash, which they were accepting cash, which I don't know. I just think at this time where all the other golf courses are making you pay online, which I know that we have a hard time because of all of our different rates, the fact that we're accepting cash at this point is, I don't know if that's recommended or not, if there's something that we could change about doing that, at least for the time being.
In a perfect
I do think
world,
you have the option to pay credit.
I'm sorry, Liam, what was that?
I think you have the option to pay credit. I paid credit both times I played at the Par 3.
At the Par 3, you could pay cash or credit, yes.
Right, but I'm wondering if we should just say no cash and just make it credit. And then, at the range, I get it with the internet would not be that. I just wonder if there are any more safeguards we can put in place up there.
No, there's nothing we can do about the cash situation. If we don't take cash, we can't be open. We don't have credit cards.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we didn't have internet service up there.
So there's no way to get like a little portable cell thing that can make the credit card call.
No, not that we're aware of. And again, I will say this, and foolish or not, but my guys are comfortable with what they're doing right now. They have tons of sanitizer with them. They have gloves. I know my guys are very good about it as far as after touching cash. That was a lot of my, particularly my older guys that work up there. It was one of their bigger concerns. But nobody's up there that's uncomfortable with what they're doing.
Real quick question: Did we lose Anthony? I don't believe there's a requirement to wear masks at all, right?
No.
I think it's recommended when you're around the pro shop to wear a mask, but it's not a requirement. And then there's no need to wear it when you're out on the course. Is my understanding of sort of the recommendations.
Correct.
Okay.
Hey, and Anthony, if you're still on, I mean, and Jim, for you too, I know you were talking about, this is Ryan, congregating in the parking lot. I mean, I live right 2 seconds down the road from Lake Mohegan, and my wife and I have walked through there, and there's always law enforcement in the parking lot. Is that going to be something that's going to happen, Anthony? Is there going to be law enforcement in the parking lot, or no?
I could work with the police department and ask them early on to have a presence up there. It's not, that's not out of the question. We can do that, or we can wait to see if it is an issue, and then we can have them. I'm fine either way.
I mean, Jim,
it was an issue last weekend at Whitney Farms.
Jim, what do you think on that?
I'm comfortable with us patrolling it at this point. If it becomes an issue, we'll certainly not hesitate to call the police to come up. But I think most people are going to be pretty good about it. My worry is that, they have played these other courses, and just to name one, Grassy Hill, I know it's abundant up at Grassy Hill. They got guys ordering pizza in the parking lot when they're done playing. So, I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at Smith, and I think we'll be able to handle it, in a friendly manner. Just inform people you can't do it here,
And I think my point was, Anthony, all you have to do is park a car there. You don't actually have to do anything. I mean, the police wouldn't have to ticket anybody or anything. I mean, that just being there alone would be enough, I'm sure. So if you needed to go down that road, it's an option for you, Jim. I'm just trying to think of everything I can to make your job easier and also make your guys feel safe. That's what I'm concerned about more so than anything else, I think, at this point. You know, it's going to be a challenge, I think, while you're up there. So.
Hi, Jim. Can I ask a question about the carts? Like, why is not having enough carts a new problem, and is it because of the new facility, or have you always been short carts?
No, we're one per person per car. Right?
Yeah, it's single rider, Christine. That's the problem. You can only put one person in the cart at a time now because of the restrictions.
Okay, so that's just until this ends, and then you'll go back to normal.
Hopefully, yeah.
That could be all summer.
Yeah, I was going to say September, maybe.
Hey, can I ask another question about the face mask? So, we run retail places, and it's a Connecticut state ordinance that you're supposed to make sure people wear masks when walking into a facility. Anthony, I don't know. Maybe these don't count because they're not what's called retail, but we can't let people in without a mask.
Yeah, so they're supposed to wear them anytime they can't maintain social distancing of 6 feet. So if they were coming into the pro shop and couldn't maintain that 6-foot distance, then they should have it on. I know Jim does have those barriers up, which will definitely help with the case as well.
Okay, it's just that if it's considered a retail establishment, I could send you the ordinance.
Well, we have the ordinance. I've seen it, but the municipalities are all exempt from these ordinances.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
So, I'll run it by the emergency team tomorrow just to double check, because I do have another planning meeting with them tomorrow, just to make sure they're on board with everything we're doing. But DPW and the emergency planning team also has signed off on the operations of opening this thing up. So I know they're comfortable with our plan, but I'll double check too.
Hi, this is Peter. I just got a couple questions on sort of how things are going to be running. And I'm thinking with the carts, I don't think we want to have surprises. Is there any way, or maybe it's already up there? I was on the website earlier and I didn't see it, but should we be having something on either the sign up or on the website itself that says carts? There's limited carts. Some verbiage so people don't get there and say, "Oh Christ, now I can't play." I don't know if that makes sense.
I think that's a good idea, Peter. I could throw that on the web.
Yep.
And I think also, I'm super sensitive to, making sure, first of all, no one on the staff gets sick or no one gets sick, because my fear is one person gets sick and the selectman woman closes this thing down. And so I think maybe also the parking lot, and then do we have something, something to the point of, you arrive, are we having like a 15-minute arrival time before your tea time? We don't want people hanging around there, a half hour before, which I don't know why people would if you can't really use a betting green or whatever. But, I think that's something, and just something on there that says, you play, you finish, you throw a virtual high five, and you get out of Dodge. Because, not only do we want people hanging around there, but there's not a lot of parking anyway. We're going to need to get cars out when people are done so people can come in.
Right.
So I don't know. I just think that if we have at least something up there that, gives guidelines onto some of the stuff that Jim, I think you're right. I think people, for the most part, are going to be compliant to a lot of these things and understand what's going on. But, you have a couple knuckleheads that don't. It's an issue.
Yeah. Well, we know who they are already, so.
Yeah.
But your idea, I do like your idea about the carts are subject to availability, on the front page of the website. The problem is, I don't know if you've gone to our website recently, but we got a lot of information. On one page. So.
Yeah.
Hard. So the carts are first come, first serve availability?
Yes.
So, it just favors the early tea times, right?
Yeah, but the nice thing about Smith is we probably, I've never run the numbers on it, but I would bet we're maybe even more than 50% walkers up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be an issue. It's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be as big an issue as if you were playing at Oxford Greens or some real hilly course that nobody walks, So.
Yeah. Well, would it make sense to sort of favor the walkers and try to pair them up with the cart people? Is there a way we could do that to where we can sort of ration the carts over the times? Or?
No, I don't see any way that would work. But.
Jim, I'm thinking maybe.
No, but I think that if you put on the website, I agree that just say it's single-use carts and first come, first serve, subject to availability. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, the single-use carts information is up there in our guidelines to begin with. I think just like Peter said, just put something up there that they're subject to availability, just so somebody can throw it back at us, say, I put this whole day off to play golf and I can't even get a cart. So at least we have it on the website.
Jim, I think you could. We could either put something on the website or even when people come up, you could say, if you sense there's going to be a problem, you could encourage people that don't need them not to take them, because if you take it now, somebody who needs it later might not be able to get it. And I think people would probably be okay with that, I would assume, if they realize, oh, man, because you and your team will get a feel for that probably pretty early in the day based on the tee sheet, oh, man, we're going to be in trouble at 10:30. I think you just communicate that to people. And like you said, I think most people would be like, yeah, you know what, I'll walk today if somebody else needs it. I think so anyways.
Well, there have been a lot more people walking since golf's come back. There's actually been numbers on it that walking has definitely increased. And the other funny part is I've had phone calls for people looking to order pull carts from me, a good Sun Mountain pull cart. And pull carts are like the toilet paper of the golf industry right now. You can't get them. They're on back order. They're on back order until September.
I know. My dad was trying to order one. Trying to order one until June. He's like, no, I'm good.
So whatever. We'll talk about it in June. We'll see how it goes if we, and again, we're assuming after May 22nd we decide to put carts out. So we're just taking it in phases and see how the first week goes. But
do we have a sense when non-resident play will be allowed? Anthony, have you heard anything from Brenda on that?
Non-resident play is allowed on Friday, Paul. That restriction was only for the beaches. Non-residents.
Oh,
were prohibited from the beaches. Yeah, it was worded funny on their release.
Yeah, I thought for sure that's Keith. I thought for sure it was the golf course.
No, it's actually just for the beaches. Like I said, whoever worded the release, it kind of made it sound like golf might be restricted also. But I checked on that after Craig picked up on it. We are definitely open to non-resident play.
Oh, cool. Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's good. I did not know that. Okay. And Jim, you're this is Ryan again. You're comfortable with the 9 minutes? I know a lot of courses have gone to 12 or 15. So, but you're comfortable with the 9, that you won't get any additional gathering or anything like that going on?
Yeah, I am comfortable with it, and I'm more comfortable after talking to Bobby Brown up at Tashua, who went to 15 minutes. And the problem is, just like we were talking about, people are showing up so early for their tee time, and that they're not just continuously going off the first tee like we're going to be with our 9-minute tee times, that they were getting crowds gathering just because of the 15-minute tee time was such a long interval. So I think it's going to work well. I'm not concerned about that at all.
Okay. Good. Cool.
Jim, it's Paul. How is the sign-up looking in the first few days that you've got so far? Is it looking like 50% of the tee times are gone, 80%? What's your on weekdays versus weekends?
Well, we've only had it open one day. That was for this coming Monday, Paul, because we take them 7 days in advance. I don't have a feel for weekdays, but I can tell you last time I looked, the first tee time on Saturday was at 4:36 in the afternoon, and I think the first one on Sunday was somewhere around 3:30. So,
wow! I had a feeling. There you go.
Yeah. That's an 80 to 90% capacity. So,
got it.
People are looking to get out and get some exercise, no doubt. That's a factor, like you said about walking. I think that's a thing people are interested in doing right now. So that's good. Good. That's good to hear. Maybe we'll catch up a little bit on some of this budget situation.
But I will say, in regards to carts, though, think somebody else, I think Keith might have said it earlier, but I don't see the single passenger cart issue going away for the year. I really think it's going to be quite a while before anybody says you can have two people in a cart. I think carts are
100% agree.
Number one point.
I agree also.
Golf course is carts.
Now,
so.
Jim, my question about the carts is, if it's a married couple or a family member, you're going to allow two people in a cart?
We haven't addressed that yet, to be honest with you, Priscilla. I know some courses are doing that.
Okay.
It's I don't know.
Question.
To me, it's an interesting question, but I don't know. I guess we would.
Do you have to get guidance on that, or is that something that you can come up with on your own, or?
I'm sure that's something we'll talk about, as we approach the 22nd, on whether we're going to have carts going out. But I don't know. I don't really see a reason why not if it's a married couple,
Right.
I think
I agree. I don't want to run into this is my girlfriend and this is my boyfriend. Or whatever.
Oh right, my God, yeah.
Right.
But didn't USGA
that
release some conditions?
Sticky.
Didn't the USGA release some conditions about how to social distance in golf, and one of them being one person per cart, period?
Yep.
Not period. I know there are places, and it might be mostly private clubs. I'd have to look into it more, that are allowing spouses to ride together and parent and child to ride together.
Right.
Yeah, there are private clubs allowing family, if you're under the same roof, that you're allowed to ride in the cart together. There are definitely private clubs doing that.
It's also private then.
Yeah.
The difference is a private club knows who's part of a family. You don't. Just because I have the same last name doesn't mean I'm the same family, right?
Right.
And Jim, I would suggest, and Priscilla, to your point, I would suggest with that, when the time comes, I would just have Anthony run it by the emergency team. Just let them weigh in on it, and and just go with the town guidance on that. That's what I would think easiest thing to do. Take the decision out of our hands and just let them decide about that.
All right. Jim, anything else in your report?
No, I think that about covers it.
Great. All right. Peter, you want to give your report?
Coming to you live from inside the new cart barn in Smith Richardson.
Make sure you lock it when you leave.
Well, you left the lights on, Jim. That's why I came in.
I got it.
Bingo.
I got a lot to report and nothing to report. There's just so much going on up here. It's we're go, and I'm a little short-handed because of the hiring back. So I've had 4 guys who've been doing a great job for me that are seasonal, and my full-time guys have been just excellent. And we got the place in shape. We got everything airified. We're ready to go. Bring it on.
Cool. So that 4th tee, who's doing that work?
Well, that's a bone of contention. We went back and forth with a Weinhardt Construction Company here and myself. I said I'd like to take inside the golf course over with all the seating and sodding and whatnot. But it was a package deal with the building committee, and the building committee decided to take it back. So Weinhardt is responsible for it, doing hydro seating. So they're doing all the seating. It's a little bizarre, but it is what it is.
So now, do you know how many parking spots we're going to get once it's striped?
Supposed to be 100. There's not 100 out there right now. I know that.
It looked kind of small. It didn't look huge.
Agreed.
It's not the final footprint of the parking lot. Just so you know, it's just the preliminary parking lot, and that's not even the final finish on the parking lot. So
but they did promise us 100 though for the preliminary though. They did promise that. So
I think they can get 100 in the area they have right now, but again, it's going to grow after the the construction fences start shrinking in a little. So
okay.
Peter, I have a question for you. Have there been any changes to either the 9th or the 7th forward tees yet?
The 9th tee?
I'm sorry, the 6th and the 7th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got 2 reports into the gas company about whether we can do the 6th tee. But
okay.
I've had so many irrigation breaks up here, and trying to get everything up and running, building a new putting green with 6 guys. It's I'm getting there.
I know. You have a lot going on. I understand, but as long as if we have a plan, that would be great. Has the gas company gotten back to you? I know that they've been horrible about that in the past. Have they gotten back to you at all about that?
Yes, actually, last week, and I'm just waiting, hopefully, to get the approval because we're hopefully far enough away. But it might be in a different spot than you're thinking. So Jim and I were out looking at it.
Okay, well, I'll be up there Friday. So playing. I was able to. I got to.
Here.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm always here.
I know you are. And what about the 7th? You said you were going to check on the irrigation to get that forward tee up there. Have you been able to look at that at all?
I must apologize. It hasn't even been on my front burner.
Okay. Nope, I get it. Yeah, as long as we could, you and I could look at that again and talk about what maybe has to be done in order to get that moved up, that would be great at some point this year. That would be awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
Priscilla and Christine, if I could ask you guys a question while we're on the phone, being your 2 female representatives. In light of the fact that the 6th tee isn't done right now, would you guys prefer to see the tees down the bottom in the temporary spot like last year, or back up on top when we open them?
That's a good question, Jim.
For me, first, I guess they're better where you have them now than to move them back.
I think I would agree with Christine, Jim. And I know it's probably going to be split opinions, but I agree.
No, there's only 2 opinions that matter right now, so.
There you go. Well, thank you for asking us.
I guess I should ask Paul too when he plays the real forward tees. But we'll talk about that privately, Paul.
I don't play the forward tees. Thank you, Jim. Hey, I did have one question for Peter or Jim. I don't know which one. I've stayed away because of all the cops and all the issues. I would like to walk the course at some point now with a golf club in my hand. But would I park up by Peter your area, or would I park in the lot? And would some cop be there ready to arrest me if I took a walk out on the course just to see how it was looking?
Right now, no. They got a parking. People are parking in a new parking lot up there, and I'm watching a couple walking across the 10th fairway right now.
So up until the time you open on Friday, I could do that?
Of course, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Paul, the police ticketed for about 1 or 2 days up on Hoytons, and that was it. Their enforcement.
I lived near Riverfield, and they were giving out tickets if you went to Riverfield School one day. I was like, holy shit.
Well, they would drive by the golf course with a megaphone saying, get off the course and then leave. So they
got it.
Didn't do much in the way of enforcement. So you could always park at the range, too, and walk across the street to the course.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a question about renewing your golf ID. I know that you have it online, but what if you need to get one? How are people doing that right now?
The first-time ID purchaser needs to do it at the pro shop now. Typically, they can do it down at Parks and Rec, but Parks and Rec I don't believe is open to the public yet, Joan. Is that correct?
Correct. Christine, if they can either fax or scan over some kind of proof of ID, we're happy to help them. At least they can see online, they can see in the software that an ID has been purchased, and then, for par 3 that doesn't sell them, and then Smith, they can print it out for them and give it to them if they want to do it with us. So they can call us and we can help them through it.
Okay.
Christine, thanks for asking that. Joan, because Dave came down and paid, but I never got my ID picture taken. But the course will have record of that when I go up there?
Yes, the course will know, and you can take a picture up at Smith. You just can't do it at par 3.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Joan.
Mhm.
Hey, Joan, this is Ryan. I got to say, you guys have, I did my beach thing the other day, and you guys have been great. You can tell Anthony that, too. The staff's been really easy to work with in this crazy time over the phone, so good job for sure.
Thank you. I will let them know. Thanks, Ryan.
Does anybody on the commission need a refund for anything? Because Joan can handle that, too. She's very good at refunds.
I love it.
Hey, Peter, this is Keith. One more quick question for you on the porta potties. Are those going to be the porta potties that are there for the remainder of the season, or are they going to be upgraded?
It's unknown yet. I did speak with Anthony about this prior to the meeting. I was a little concerned about the location of them and the number of them, saying there's only 3, and I think one says exclusively handicapped on it. I think he mentioned that it's an issue for the building committee. They're the ones supplying them and paying for them.
I thought we were getting like those nice ones, like the ones you go to for a wedding.
That's what Craig originally said to us, that we were going to get the trailer one.
Yeah,
that's why I thought these were temporary ones.
I was under the impression we were getting like a trailer one too, but I think Anthony mentioned to me that the problem with that is they do need plumbing. You do have to plumb them. They don't just sit there. So it could be a pretty good expense by the end of it. But again, I think it falls under the building committee and not us as a golf course.
All right, I'll reach out to Craig on that.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you.
They do have a little Giant Stadium feel to them.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, Peter. Anything else for your report?
Well, the paving was all done. We from behind 17 green, connecting to 11, all the way down 18. The cart path was all done, and it came out really, really, really nice.
Oh, good.
And Peter won't tell you, but he did aerate greens. They came out great. He did aerate tee boxes, so they got a ton of work done in the month and a half that we should have been out there playing golf. So I think you guys are going to be impressed with what he's gotten done up there.
Oh, cool.
Good.
I know there's not much of a greens report. I know if Peter's done, I was able to stop up at the course twice, and the greens and the fairways look phenomenal. I didn't really walk on it. I just kind of looked at the perimeter, and it looks terrific. So, Peter, you and your guys, I know you're shorthanded, have done a great job. It looks ready. It needs to be played.
I'd also like to say that the par 3, which is my home course, is in great shape as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think the par 3 is playing really well. It's crowded. It's fun. It's looking great this year.
We'll let John Johnson know next time we talk to him.
Yeah. That new putting green though at Smith looks really cool. I know it's still kind of got the lines in it, but it's going to be great. I really like the location of it. It looks really good so far.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree from the photos. I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it really does.
And is it level?
For those of you that don't know, it's the same construction that Zach used on 16 green last year when he did everything in about 1 foot by 1 foot squares. So there are a lot of steams in it right now, but it will be leveling out pretty quick, I would imagine. Probably by middle of June, it'll be very puttable. Right now, it's
cool.
It's a little patchworky right now, but
Jim, is it relatively level as opposed to having the big drop off the old one had?
Yeah, I think there's a 2-degree pitch from one side to the other, so it's raining. Perfect. You have to have the pitch on a green, but there's no more crazy runoff where your ball runs down into the bunker on 3. Much more usable putting surface on it. It's going to be great. It came out nice.
Good.
Jim, will you allow chipping on that green, or will it just be putting only?
I think we're going to allow chipping as long as it doesn't become a problem with the parking lot or with the building getting hit.
Okay.
The problem with that is you get, and I don't mean to stereotype, but you get the young kids out there trying to hit the Phil Mickelson lob shots and hit it and take out a window. The other concern
I was wondering, because it looks like it was going to be a little close, but I think, that would be great. Good.
Yeah, and the other concern is the bunker behind 3 is very close to the green, and we're probably going to have to put a sign up that it's not a practice bunker. That playing out of that to the practice green is not permitted, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Right. Okay.
Great. Okay. I think that's everything. Joan, any public input that you received?
I did not. I have not received any emails. I don't know that we have any public on here, but
good.
Nothing to my.
I haven't received any.
Yep.
Hey, so before you do a motion to adjourn, Keith. Hey, Jim. Not that we can do too much to help you, but if you need anything, please reach out to us at the commission, and we'll do whatever we got to do to help. And it's going to be a challenging situation for you. So if you need help, we're here.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ryan, and everybody, and we'll get through it. It's going to be a weird year anyway, and with this whole COVID thing, it just got a lot weirder. So we'll get through it. Cool. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you on Friday, Jim. I'll be out there on Friday. I got a tea time for late in the afternoon, so I'm excited to play.
I have a feeling I'm going to see a lot of you on Friday.
Absolutely. I'm playing.
That's right.
So that'll be
great. Should have the meeting on Friday.
Yeah. That's right. We'll have it there.
All right.
6 feet
good.
apart, though. 6 feet apart.
You got it. Yeah.
All right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Right. Any second?
I second.
I'll second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. This went off great. I appreciate it, Joan. Thank you for all your help, and we'll be talking again soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Setting this up.
Good job, everyone.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye.